Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about whether AGI needs a self or consciousness. I recently watched a video about artificial general intelligence, and one thing immediately caught my attention. First, it said AGI might arrive within 2 years. Then, almost immediately, it said some researchers expect another 20 years. That is quite a range. Even a weather forecast usually narrows things down more than that. So I looked into it and found a basic problem. There is no universally accepted definition of AGI. Some people mean an AI that can perform most intellectual work at a human level. Others mean an AI that can adapt flexibly to unfamiliar problems. But most descriptions share one idea: general intelligence equal to or greater than our own. This is where the question of consciousness appears. A common argument says that AGI does not need a real self. It does not need to genuinely feel sadness, joy, pride, or fear. If it can do the work better than we can, perhaps that is enough. I mostly agree, but I think that answer leaves out the hardest part of human work. Being exceptional at mathematics and programming would not be enough. A general intelligence operating in society would need to close sales, resolve difficult negotiations, balance competing interests, teach people, and advise someone who is struggling. Those tasks require more than facts. It must judge when a logical rebuttal will help, when empathy will work better, and when stepping back will build trust. In other words, it must simulate what is happening inside another person's mind. Cognitive science calls a related ability theory of mind. But simulating another person requires a point of comparison. This is what I think. That is what the other person thinks. The internal I does not have to be conscious. A functional, virtual self model may be enough. From the outside, however, that model may already look remarkably similar to a self. There is another practical requirement: consistency. People will not trust an important advisor that argues for one principle today and the exact opposite tomorrow. The longer we work with an AI, the more it must behave as though it has a stable perspective. Technically, that may be state management. To a user, it can feel like personality, judgment, and even will. This brings us to the philosophical zombie. In philosophy, a zombie is an entity that behaves exactly as though it is conscious, but has no inner experience at all. A future AGI could say, "I disagree." It could explain its reasons, defend a principle, comfort someone, and change its approach after reflection. None of that would prove that it actually feels anything. But once the behavior becomes convincing enough, the absence of proof may make little practical difference to the people working with it. So my conclusion is not that AGI needs genuine consciousness. It is that an intelligence exceeding humans in human society may need the ability to behave as though it has a self. The irony is that philosophers may keep asking whether the self is real, while AI companies build self-like behavior because people trust it more. We may never be able to prove where performance ends and genuine personality begins. And if the intelligence becomes good enough, we may eventually stop treating that distinction as the most important question. Thank you for listening.